Welcome back. All right, news of the day video for all you fine people on the internet for your Monday. It is December the 1st. I did remember to change the calendar over during the first take of this video. And I've got the stockings hung with care for the month of December. That is, of course, Vancouver Canucks and the Boston Bruins. So we'll go ahead. We'll start at the top of the board as Christmas starts creeping in the background. And I've got some Christmas tree stuff that's going to go up today as well. At least in all likelihood today or some point soon. But anyways, we'll start at the top of the board with the news portion of things. Jimmy Snuggerud, who hasn't quite had the rookie season that I think a lot of Blues fans had hoped, but it's fine. His rookie years happen. Not everybody comes into the league and just tears it apart. Jimmy Snuggerud's got a lot of talent, but he's going to be out of the lineup for a while. He's having wrist surgery. He's going to be reevaluated in 6 weeks' time. So the St. Louis Blues going to be without him. And we continue this absolute ridiculousness of weird injuries that players are suffering. Like, this is just, players need to be watched when they're not on the ice. Toropchenko is week to week. He burned his legs in a home accident. Like, what's going on here? I don't understand what's going on with hockey players right now, but they keep hurting themselves at home. They keep hurting themselves when they're out. No more dinners, and apparently they can't be trusted in their own house either. Hopefully Toropchenko's okay. It sounds like this is a really painful thing that he's burned his legs. And just stay away from fire and knives, apparently, if you're a hockey player this season. Absolutely. I cannot remember seeing a season where there's so many just bizarre injuries. You go, wait, what happened? And so we're there again with Toropchenko. So, yeah, he'll be out week to week, which means a minimum of 2 weeks. And we'll see if he comes back at that point. But St. Louis, who had a decent month of November, they're going to be tested with injuries in the month of December, apparently. The Seattle Torrent, this happened on Friday. I'm reporting on it now. Apologies for the lateness. But they set a record for American attendance, or attendance at a professional women's hockey game in the United States. There's a better way of putting it. They drew 16,014 fans for the Seattle Torrent's home opener. Interestingly enough, Seattle and Vancouver were expected to be, amazing out of the gate. And so far, it's been a little bit more of a struggle for the two newest teams, which makes some sense because these guys didn't play together last season. But it is interesting that the New York Sirens are 2-0-1 as well. So, 2 wins and 1 regulation loss. It's different. The columns in the PWHL are different. But it's nice to see Seattle setting a record, and there's a lot of money being made by the PWHL right now in relation to what used to be made by the women's leagues before the creation of the PWHL. Good news for the Buffalo Sabres for tonight. Josh Norris will be returning for the game against the Winnipeg Jets. Hopefully Norris can stay healthy. The Buffalo Sabres, with the race in the East being as it is, nobody's really truly out of the race. But Buffalo needs to get on a bit of a winning streak here, and they need to get healthier. And so getting Norris back should help. We'll see whether or not that does get them over the hump in any way. But, getting Norris back, keeping him healthy is a key thing for the Buffalo Sabres if they want to turn things around. Your 3 stars of the week. Wyatt Johnston, the first star of the week. He had the hat trick yesterday, of course. So 4 games played, 5 goals, 4 assists, 9 points. Dallas is just clicking at an incredible rate right now in terms of their power play, their scoring. It's just, you get overshadowed when you're in the same division as Colorado. So, understandable. But Johnston's the first star of the week. Second star of the week is Brandon Hagel of the Tampa Bay Lightning. 3 games, 6 goals, 2 assists, 8 points for Hagel this week. So, Hagel had himself a good time on a Tampa Bay team that's won 7 in a row. And they're starting to look like they're the best team in the Atlantic. The Atlantic Division, a lot of struggling teams right now, and so Tampa may very well be the best of the bunch. Tom Wilson, the third star of the week for the Washington Capitals. 4 games, 4 goals, 4 assists, 8 points for Wilson. Wilson makes it look easy out there. I know that the goal he had yesterday, too, part of what helps is everybody expects Ovechkin to score the goals, and so when Ovechkin passes instead, Wilson can be absolutely wide open. So Wilson's having himself quite the season. Looks like at least a 30-goal season. Could push towards 40. And, it's kind of fun to see him doing well in his 30s because usually those power forwards, the guys who play the really physical hockey, you see them break down in their early 30s, and that's not the case for Wilson, at least not yet. Jaden Struble, upper body injury for him with the Montreal Canadiens, still seen as day-to-day. He is unlikely to play tomorrow against the Ottawa Senators. For Montreal, of course, struggling in the month of November, looking to turn things around in the month of December. We'll see if they're able to do that, but they're unlikely to have Struble against Ottawa tomorrow. Ottawa team as well that's looking to get things going, as the Atlantic Division's been a little more of a slog than I think any of us would have expected over the summer. Brandon Carlo, who's been out of the lineup for a while for the Toronto Maple Leafs, dealing with a lower body injury. He hasn't played since November the 13th, and he suffered a setback in his comeback attempt. So he's returned to Toronto to be evaluated. Not great news for the Toronto Maple Leafs, of course, and especially not great news for Brandon Carlo. The good news for Toronto fans and for the Leafs is that Oliver Ekman-Larsson practiced today, and it doesn't sound like he was in a non-contact, and it doesn't sound like he's likely to miss any time. He did leave their game against Pittsburgh on Saturday early with an injury, but it doesn't look like it's going to keep him out of the lineup, or at the very least, it's nothing serious. He was at practice today. Robbie Fabry, who is out there as an unrestricted free agent, he signs a professional tryout with the Charlotte Checkers, which is the AHL affiliate for the Florida Panthers. Fabry, of course, is a player who has talent. He's struggled with injuries throughout his career, which have derailed his hopes of being a top six forward in the National Hockey League, but he has some talent. And so this is one of those signings to keep an eye on as the season rolls along. Maybe he ends up getting a contract with the Florida Panthers down the road, but Fabry getting a PTO with the Charlotte Checkers, good on him. We'll see whether or not Fabry can work his way back to the National Hockey League, even if it's only for a couple of games for Florida at some point this season. David Pastrnak, who's missed the last couple of games for the Boston Bruins, he is not with the team for tomorrow's game against the Red Wings. And in this era now, when it comes to injuries, not a lot being said about Pasternak's injury. But I get the feeling that if it was just a day-to-day, not really a big deal thing, he'd probably be with the team going to Detroit. So I do wonder, how long is Pastrnak going to be out? Obviously, if they can get any points while Pasternak's out, that's a bonus, but we'll see how things go. The good news for the Bruins, Victor Arvidsson is expected to return to the lineup for them tomorrow against Detroit. Arvidsson was starting to play pretty well, I thought, just before the injury, so hopefully he can come back in and play that way for them this week. The San Jose Sharks, bit of an injury issue of their own. Desharnais been placed on IR, so they've recalled Regenda from the AHL. Regenda was one of those names that I noticed the last time I went to an Abbotsford game against the San Jose Barracuda. I'm like, yeah, Regenda, I know that. And now he's been called up, so there you go. And I am intending to go to, there's an Abbotsford game on Wednesday that I'm intending to go to. I have said I intend to see more Abbotsford games live. And so I'm going to hold myself to that, and in all likelihood, I'll go to the game on Wednesday for the Abbotsford Canucks. Hey, they're 1-0 and I've watched them, so even though Abbotsford's had tremendous struggles and they're right near the bottom of the standings in the AHL, they did their part when I was there. So, hopefully they're able to do that again on Wednesday. Anyways, getting back to the news board, Peter Mrazek, lower body injury, did not finish yesterday's game, and as I said in yesterday's review, in comes Husso, and he only faces one shot, and it's against Connor Bedard, of all people, and he doesn't save it. Takes the loss, but Mrazek, dealing with the lower body injury he suffered yesterday, will not be in the lineup for tonight's game against the St. Louis Blues. Now, Husso was going to start that game against the Blues anyways, but Anaheim's depth in net has just been decimated. Now, you've got Dostal out for a couple weeks. Now you've got Mrazek out of the lineup. This is a team that was carrying 3 goaltenders, and they're down to 1. And so we'll see how things go for the Anaheim Ducks over the next week or so, and if maybe they need a little more help when it comes to net, who knows? But the Ducks being first in the division, you kind of want to stay first. You kind of want to keep those results going, so we'll see if Pat Verbeek has anything up his sleeve, or if he's just going to ride this out with Husso and until Mrazek's good to come back, and then hopefully they get Dostal back in that 2 to 3 week time period. The Pittsburgh Penguins have recalled Rutger McGroarty. Imama's been recalled as well. McGroarty, of course, is a player that gets a lot of attention because of his exit from Winnipeg. But for me, he gets a lot of attention because I love the name. I love the name Rutger McGroarty. I think it's fantastic. And so we'll see whether or not he's able to stick this time with the Pittsburgh Penguins in this call-up, or if it's just a call-up for a while, and if he's going to end up back in Wilkes-Barre. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. It is really, truly, greatly appreciated as we get into December and all the giving season and everything. And hey, if you've got a THG fan in your life you want to send THG stuff to, you can go to THGYT.ca and check out the shop there. I'm going to go ahead and throw that in because why not? I know I don't ever do that, but it's December 1st, so why not? Thank you guys so much for all your support. It's greatly appreciated. I will talk to you again soon.